Hello! Welcome back once again to the Kanto region. This is the Route to Victory Road, a podcast that chronicles our journeys through the main series titles of the Pokemon franchise. I'm your host, Pokemon Professor Mackenzie. And I'm joined today, as always, by my wonderful partner and co-host, Jaylee.
Hello, and welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone. We've been gone for a while.
Too long. I've missed this.
Yeah.
There's been some big changes, too.
Some big changes.
We got a new puppy.
We have a new puppy, as you probably can hear.
In the background, she doesn't shut up.
No, she's...
a monster.
Well, I was going to say very young.
Oh.
She's only a couple of weeks old.
That's... sure.
I mean, 15 weeks, right?
15 is a couple.
Couple of months, I meant to say anyway. But she's a couple of months old.
She's the cutest little thing, but oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's a monster.
She is. But, so if you hear us calling Zelda, that is our pup.
That's her name. Because we're big nerds. And she is too.
And she is too.
Are you excited to be back?
I'm excited to be back. Yes.
I'm happy.
Very excited. Very excited. We are doing the Kanto games, Fire Red and Leaf Green. And for anyone who has listened to Patreon, you already know all this information, but we are going to run it down once again for all the people who aren't patrons.
Let's do it.
I am playing Leaf Green.
I'm playing the red one.
Fire Red.
Fire Red.
And we are each doing something special with our characters. Did you want to talk about maybe a game corner first, or did you want to talk about... I guess we don't really have anything for
We
game
have not
corner.
been playing that many games. Between moving and getting a new puppy, we have not had time to play. Like,
no.
This is crazy. So no, I'm good to go with Pokemon.
Okay. Alright, so we will talk about our season, and then we'll introduce our characters. Welcome to the second half of Season 3. This season, we are going to be playing with modified wedlock rules. This is because neither of us really like the whole you have to let go of Pokemon that faint. But that might play into the way that I'm playing anyway, but I will cover that later.
I can't do a Nuzlocke. I'm too connected with my Pokemon and I love them.
I'm not going to let them go, but I'll explain kind of what my idea is in a bit. So our wedlock rules, this applies to both of us, but what our particular characters are is something that we've decided on our own. So the wedlock rules are, number 1, you can only catch the first Pokemon that you encounter on a route, unless you're up against what are known as the dupes or bachelor clauses, in which case you can encounter another Pokemon. Number 2, your Pokemon, all of your Pokemon, have a partner. You can switch between the two partners in battle, and if one of the Pokemon gets KO'd, you must switch to its partner. If your opponent forces you to switch to a new Pokemon, that becomes the new pair that you must use. Till death do us part clause. You cannot change which pairings you have already made. This includes if you catch a new Pokemon. If you want to use a new Pokemon on your team, you must catch it a partner as well and swap out one of your current partners. This, of course, only applies once we've filled out our team of 6.
It's already so confusing.
And then, Dupes Clause, you cannot catch 2 of the same species of Pokemon. If you want to catch 2 Rattatas, you can't. You can't have a Rattata matched up with a Rattata. Rattata's got to match up with Pidgey.
It has to? That's, that's the only matching.
I'm just kidding. But and then Bachelor Clause, you cannot catch a 6th Pokemon until you find a partner for your starter Pokemon.
What?
That was something that we had come up with.
I don't remember that.
We don't have to use that. It was just something that we came up with while we were chatting about on the Patreon feed.
That we couldn't get a 6th Pokemon?
Right, until we found a partner until we found the one for our starter.
I'm really blanking.
It's
totally
fine.
Didn't realize that that's a weird rule.
Because of the way that I've started doing my character, I am not doing that either.
Yeah, I feel like all of those rules don't apply to your character now.
Some of them do.
We might have to scrap these rules and make new ones.
Yeah.
Because you're not even going to play half of the rules.
Well, these are the ones that we talked about initially, but then we came up with our character concepts, and then that kind of changed everything.
So we're going to have a new segment every week called Rule Break, where we swap out the rules.
Yeah, sounds good. Rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah, they are.
So did you want to talk about your character?
Sure.
Okay.
We did something fun where we chose each other's characters and gave them a bit of a occupation. Mac chose for me, my character's name is Shauna, and she is a Pokemon matchmaker. So that's what I'm dealing with here. That's all I got.
And I guess that's something that I forgot to mention when I was talking about the wedlock rules, is that we both picked each other's types that we are able to catch during the course of the game.
Yeah.
So
it's making it difficult already.
For example, you had access to both fire and grass, where I only had access to water, so it's not a surprise who my starter is.
Yep.
So, to talk about my character's name is Howie. And I am a host of the Pokemon Bachelor.
Yep.
And my rival, I know you didn't say your rival's name yet, but my rival's name is Chris H. And H stands for Harrison. Chris Harrison being the original host of The Bachelor.
That's so funny.
I thought it was funny that...
This grew into something way bigger than I expected when we were just throwing out ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my character is Howie M. And my rival's name is Chris H.
So funny.
And I know Mr. Howie M doesn't have any experience with any actual like matchmaking or like the couple dating game show things, but he does have experience with game shows.
Exactly.
Like Deal or No Deal, of course, and then he also has reality show experience with America's Got Talent. So, it was a natural fit, a natural pivot for him to move to The Bachelor.
Of course. I could see Howie on The Bachelor. Not as The Bachelor, that would be a little bit strange, but hosting some kind of show like that.
Do you want to mention anything about your rival?
No. I named him Frederic.
Yeah.
With just ending in a Q. Because I wrote Shauna, I don't remember how exactly I spelled it, but...
SHANNAH, I believe.
No,
or no, SCH.
SCHANAH. Shauna. Because she's super bougie, so her rival has to be super bougie. So he is Frederic.
Frederic.
And yeah, no relationship, nothing cool there, but...
He's just a rival matchmaker.
Maybe they'll fall in love in the end, who knows.
So, this week, it's the same for anyone who hasn't played these games before. If you listened to our Red and Blue playthrough, almost beat for beat, the exact same sort of thing. There are a few superficial differences to the story. Sorry, I should mention, for the story, the game is quite different. The story is the same, though. You start out in Pallet Town. You are a young kid, because you can be a boy or a girl, and you are leaving home, and before you are able to reach the tall grass, Professor Oak comes out and stops you and goes, "Wait a minute, it's dangerous. Here, I have a Pokemon you can take. Take this Pokemon."
Yep. Exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly the same as the original Red and Blue games, or Green and Red if you're from Japan.
The music is a little revamped, though.
Yes.
Not for the better.
Right.
I don't like it.
Like I said, the game looks and feels quite different. I'm just in the story sense, it is not different at all. The story is completely the same. In fact, I believe it remains the same. There will be slight differences way later on, like after Gym 5 or 6. But up until then, it's almost completely the same.
Okay.
Like, we're going to be facing the same bad guys. We're going to be going to the same areas. We're going to be doing the same little quests, like going through Silphco and things like that.
Boy.
Yeah, that all is still going to happen the way that it happened in the first games. But now we have a wider variety of Pokemon, which is awesome. I like that.
Oh, we do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because they've altered, like, you've already kind of experienced this. You ran into a Mankey. I don't know if you caught it, but you ran into one. And that used to be just south of Cerulean, but now they've got it west of Viridian. They altered the routes where all the Pokemon kind of reside, and that gives us a wider variety going into certain fights, what we can use and what we can't use, except for our stipulations that we've put on each other.
We did.
We tried to be as kind as we could to one another. Should we run down the types that we wound up with? Okay.
Yeah. We limited our types and picked types for each other, so we, in some ways, are at a loss.
My types that I can catch, and this can be either, so if a Pokemon has two types, I just need one of them to be one of these types. It doesn't have to, like, I don't have to have both types be one of the types that I can catch. So my types that I can catch are Flying, Ice, Bug, Water, Poison, Electric, Rock, and Dragon. And yours?
Mine are Ground, Grass, Fighting, Fire, Normal, Psychic, Ghost, and Dragon, too.
Yes, we both can catch Dragon, we both can catch Steel, just because there's only one family in the game that's Dragon, and only one family in the game that's Steel.
Clefairy.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And I was going to make Ghost something that was shared between the two of us, but I also realized that there's nothing that's just rock, and also Ghost is, even though there's only one species of Ghost in this game, Gengar is pretty strong. So I thought that giving it solely to you was sort of fair.
Thanks. Maybe I'll try him out.
As we progress into the game, you realize certain things, like there is a help thing.
Oh, a menu.
Yeah.
I hate it.
The help menu. We were able to turn that off in the options, luckily, but I imagine it was very good for new people who were getting into Pokemon. Like people who started with the Hoenn games and then were like, what's the deal with the Kanto games? I hear that there's older games that I haven't tried yet, and then they get remade for Generation 3. Jaylee, you were saying that it was like ridiculous that we were already back to Kanto. But to keep it in perspective, it had been 7 years since Kanto games Generation 1 had been released, to when the Kanto remakes were released, which is amazing. Like, you think about that span of time, like,
yeah.
That's a long time, but it was also a long time ago now.
A very long time ago. I don't like to think about it. It makes me feel old.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's feeling a little bit condensed because we already tackled these games last year.
Right. So we're not going to talk about the stories again.
It hasn't been too long. No. But I can imagine being younger and having several years in between. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, okay.
Or just being introduced to those games in that generation, if you were younger than we are, because we are the generation that started with Pokemon Generation 1, but there's a whole new generation of new Pokemon players who are starting in Generation 3, so they had to experience Kanto for the first time this way, which I imagine would have been really nice, because like I really I love Generation 1.
Yeah.
But like Generation 3 is just so much cleaner, and there's so much more complexity and interest, you know, like there's so much more to do because the game's not bugged. and like there's just more depth to the characters because they kind of got their stuff figured out by this point, like natures and abilities have been added to this generation, and they really kind of change the way that you think about Pokemon.
I haven't even looked at them.
Oh, no?
Oops.
No, that's okay.
I forgot.
So, well, I guess we'll just talk about what starter we picked.
Sure.
Do you want to talk about that, or
Yeah,
do you want to
let's do
wait for Game
No,
Corner?
no,
Or
that
for,
works.
not Game Corner. Pokemon Sun Edition.
No, that works for me.
Okay, so Oak offers us Pokemon, and of course, having just the one option, I pick Squirtle.
Whoa.
So my Squirtle's name is John Henry, who was on one of the Bachelorette seasons,
Okay.
and he was an underwater welder.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
So
Just a note, Mac nor I have seen The Bachelor.
right, I've never watched any.
I don't think I've watched any matchmaking shows either, so...
I've seen like a few, like I don't know, the ones that are all named stupid, and of course there's like the one that Tim Robbins made that was like his parody of them,
and spoofs.
which, but I mean, it was basically exactly the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
So my John Henry is a Squirtle, and so he is my bachelor for this week, and he is an underwater welder and volunteer firefighter. That's what I wrote.
I didn't come up with a backstory for mine.
That's okay.
Oh no.
That's just that's my shtick this week, or this season,
Okay.
is I'm going to be coming up with backstories for all of my eligible bachelors and eligible bachelorettes.
I guess I should do that too, because I'm a matchmaker. So, give me a second here to think of something.
Okay.
We can pause.
So what Pokemon did you start with?
I picked Charmander,
Yeah.
which is the only starter you should pick ever. He's the best. Except you pointed out why he's not the best, because of the first two gyms. Anyway, his name is Chucky,
Okay.
and he likes spicy food.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's his profile so far.
Does he actually
Does he what?
like spicy food?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, okay. Because that is actually a personality trait that Pokemon can have, is likes spicy food.
I'm so good at this. I literally just typed that out right now.
That'd be really funny if like you open up your because if you go into your Pokemon summary
Yeah.
and look, you'll see like underneath the nature, it'll say things like likes to play or like enjoys spicy food and things like that.
Okay.
So that would
that's
be
gonna
really
be
funny.
their like matchmaking profile then.
Okay,
So okay.
that would be really
I'll
cute.
actually have to go into this and read them out
Okay.
next time.
Next time.
This time I'll just make it up.
Okay, sounds good. How was your encounter with Frederic?
Like in Oak's place?
Yeah.
Yeah. He picked Squirtle.
Yeah,
So it's like I was fighting you.
yeah,
Cool. Yep, no, easy, same.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty fun. How was yours?
Very easy because he picked Bulbasaur and would not stop using Growl.
Nice.
That's all he used, and so I just tackled him to death. He did like maybe 4 points of damage to me.
We're back to the tackles and growls.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not excited.
Just for a little bit.
Yeah, actually, I'll take back that whine and groan right now because my Pokemon have been learning things very fast.
Yeah, you
Much
learned
faster.
Ember at
Yeah.
like, what, level 7?
Yeah, it was very fast.
And
I
I
was
learned
happy.
Bubble at level 7.
I know Metal Claw already.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not
Brock's easy
complaining.
peasy then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned Water Gun, so that was like,
Oh,
it's
nice.
curtains for... Like, I had
Anyway.
Withdraw and Water Gun, so anyway.
Nice.
Anyway, you go up to Viridian City, you gotta get turned around and sent back down
Yep.
because of the person. So here's something that I never even mentioned in the first generation, I don't believe. Maybe I did and I just forget. This shop owner is so trusting. Not only is it like you walk in and he's like, oh hey, you're from Pallet Town. It's like, okay, A, how do you know that? Like, did you watch me walk up the street, you creeper?
You probably did.
But also B, like, is that something common in Japan to be like, oh, hey, you're from this part of town. Can you take this to your neighbor?
To be fair, how many people live in Pallet Town? Like 3? So,
yeah,
that's fine.
But I'm just wondering if, like, that's, like, a Japanese thing to do, is to, like, give something to somebody to run somewhere else.
It's a
like,
small town thing to do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's
everybody.
like the town over from the small town, though.
Yeah, but it's not even a town. There's population 3.5, so...
But I imagine that's just because they're trying to, like, make everything feel smaller. But in, like, reality, what it translates to is, like, if somebody from... what's a small place? From, like, Carstairs went to Rocky Mountain House, and it's like, oh, hey, you're from Carstairs, aren't you? Can you take this to Bill, who lives in Carstairs as well? It's like...
I don't know where those places are, but I'd imagine it would be fine, because if they are small towns, then it is fine. Because that's how cowboys work.
That's how cowboys work.
Yeah.
They're a cowboy, baby.
That's how cowboys work. Cowboys and them farm folks.
It was just interesting that, like, this shop owner is like, hey, you're from Kanto. Here, please take this back to Oak. And it's like...
And then...
All right.
That's the other factor. Like, Oak is Oak. It wasn't just... You're not just taking it to anybody. You're taking it to Oak.
Yeah.
And, of course, so they know that I know Oak. So, yeah, they're going to be like, yeah, take this to Oak.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we do.
We
regardless.
do. We don't have a choice.
Actually, in Journeys... Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
It's just a show.
Yeah, but I was going to say, we see the size of Pallet Town and the size of Viridian City. Viridian City is pretty big. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
How many people have you actually seen, though? Like, you get the overview or, like, skyline shots, and yeah, there's businesses and buildings and houses, but really, how many people do you see in the show? Because it could be green screened.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. So, once we get back and we get the ability to use Pokeballs...
Yep.
Oak gives us Pokeballs this time.
He gives you balls.
Which is
you
not something that he does in the original
with
gen.
Mom's money. Mom didn't give us any money.
Mom didn't give us any money,
or
but
shoes.
Did you remember to get the potion out of your computer? Because that's still in there.
No.
No. You can do it at any Poke Center. You just got to go to your box instead of someone's box. Someone's PC. Your PC versus someone's PC. So you go to your PC and you just extract an item, which is a potion in this case.
Why couldn't it be like an XP experience share?
Yeah, right?
What are they called?
Yeah, XP share.
XP share.
Yeah.
Why couldn't it be something useful like that?
I know, right? Potions are kind of useful, though. Good for training. But modern advances to this game are really nice, like Oak giving you Pokeballs to start your journey, and things like the Teachy TV is an interesting concept for new people.
It's so
people
weird.
New to the game. The Teachy TV is separate from the help menu, which is also something that's there for new players. But the Teachy TV kind of like explains how mechanics work to people who might not know how they work, like type matchups, for example, and things like that. It's basically just another tool to help new trainers, which is really useful, but they don't really ever do this again. Not to this extent.
No.
No. The help menus are kind of just tutorialized in the future releases of the games, and that's about it. There's no such thing as a Teachy TV from now on. This is the only game that does the Teachy TV, which is weird because you'd think that if they wanted to include that for like players who... Because from now on, every generation is going to have a new influx of players. Mm-hmm. So Teachy TV would be really helpful for those kinds of people, or even returning players. Like, say there's people who played Generation 1 who came back to Generation 4. Teachy TV would be really useful for those kinds of people because they wouldn't understand. They're like, what the hell are natures? What the hell are... Anyway. Just my 2 cents. Teachy TV's interesting. I don't use it, clearly, because I don't need it, but it's a good addition to these games. And I think it would have been better if they kept that sort of mechanic in the future.
Now there's Google.
Now there is Google.
So it's all fine.
the reason I'm bringing up things like the Teachy TV and the new Pokeballs, well, not the new Pokeballs, but the Pokeballs that Oak gives us and stuff like that is because I just find it interesting the little quality of life things that they've added to this game to make it kind of different than our first playthrough of this generation, or of this region. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I've noticed a couple little things that were really interesting to me. The music, I don't know, it's too strange for me, but I did notice it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes when you enter a new area like Viridian Forest, there's these little murals or photos that come up before, and they're really pretty and cute.
Yeah, the murals are an interesting thing that they do. It's just on the caves, but it's like a cool little eye catch, like, look at this cave that you're going into.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting. I don't even know why they didn't do it for Hoenn, because they clearly had the capability to do it. I think maybe they brought it in Emerald, which is they? Like the director's cut of Ruby Sapphire.
Oh, okay.
Which is even more confusing for story, that game, because like you bounce back and forth between the two teams instead of having one or the other.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So I caught a Pokemon on Route 1 and 2, but I also tried catching a Pokemon on Route 26, which is where you go west of Viridian City and then you go up and you fight your rival.
I went there very first, and
yeah.
I totally forgot that you fight him and fighting him this early did not go well for me.
No?
No.
Did he wait you out?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Because I had a level 5 Charmander.
Yeah.
And then a level 3 Rattata.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he kicked my butt, which is a little bit reminiscent because I think I did the same thing in the very first game.
I think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wiped you out. Mm-hmm. At least once. Mm-hmm. I ran into my second Pokemon on Route 26, and I knocked it out, which means I don't get a Pokemon on Route 26.
Oh, no.
But it was a Spearow.
Aw.
And I fought Chris Harrison on that route, and I beat him because my Pokemon were both level 9 at that point.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Yeah. So I was able to beat him.
Nice.
And then we go towards Viridian Forest, and on Route 2, which is the one just before the forest, I caught another Pokemon there, which I'll talk about later.
Okay.
And then in the forest, because I caught the Pokemon just outside the forest, I was able to fight a bunch of different fights before finding my first Pokemon in there, because every single Pokemon that showed up was the Pokemon that I caught outside of the forest. And because of Dupe's Claws, can't catch it again.
Right.
So I keep encountering the same Pokemon until I came up to my Pokemon in Viridian Forest, who was Pikachu.
Of course.
And I knocked it out in a single tackle.
Oh, no.
So no Pikachu for me.
No Pikachu.
Nope. Nothing from Viridian Forest.
So even if you ran into another Pikachu, you couldn't catch it?
Nope.
Ugh, this is so confusing to me. I think I already messed up.
That's fine. That's fine. So I left Viridian Forest with nothing except a broken heart. And I knocked out all the bugs in this place.
Really? Oh, I guess, yeah. You have bugs on your list. I don't have bugs, so I couldn't catch anything. And I don't have electric, so I couldn't catch Pikachu, which broke my heart because I ran into at least 6 of them.
Oh, no. Yeah, I ran into 3 in a row once.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my god,
Sad.
stop teasing me.
Sad.
And then on the north part of Route 2, just before Pewter, I caught another Pokemon, and that will be the last Pokemon I caught this leg.
Yeah, because it's all we could catch.
Yeah.
How many? 1, 2, 3, 4?
I have 4 in total.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I went and took on Brock, because...
Nothing else to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, just train and take on Brock.
Yep, and that's what I did. So, maybe we'll talk about, my Versus Seeker for this
I didn't
leg.
find one.
It was just Camper Liam. He's Brock's minion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Same little twerp that we fought in Generation 1.
Yep.
Says the exact same thing about us being light years away from fighting Brock, even though light years is a measure of distance, not time.
I think you said that in the first one, too.
Yeah.
First episode of the first podcast.
That's why he's my Versus Seeker. Except, I will note that the camper in Generation 1 had Diglett and Sandshrew or something like that. And this one, at least, Camper Liam, at least had a Geodude.
Right.
So at least he had a rock Pokemon.
He had a rock.
But he had
and
Sandshrew.
A Sandshrew.
Yeah. So, one rock, one ground. That's fine. Good job, Liam.
Good job, Liam.
Learned what type your gym was this generation.
I guess we could talk about Brock and then go into Pokemon.
Do you want to?
Yeah, because it was just Brock.
Brock was super simple. Geodude level 11 or 12. Level 12, I think. And then Onix level 14. This is not the same as Generation 1, I believe, but it's close enough that I don't even want to talk about the fight. It was super simple, especially since I had Squirtle.
Exactly, yeah. My Pokemon were higher level and easy peasy.
Yeah, but I will talk about my contestants.
Okay.
So,
is this Pokemon Center check-in
This is Pokemon Center check-in. John Henry is my level 15 Squirtle.
Nice.
He is the Bachelor for this week. He's an underwater welder and volunteer firefighter. I already talked about that part, though. The first Pokemon I caught was Ariel, my level 14 Pidgey.
Wait, Ariel.
Ariel.
Okay, fine.
I'm so clever. She's a marketing exec for Vermilion Airfield.
Nice.
Yeah. The second Pokemon I caught was Kimberly, my level 13 Butterfree.
You have a Butterfree already. Wow.
Who's a socialite and hospitality manager.
Cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Because Butterfree is a butterfly.
Because it's a butterfly.
See, I'm being smart.
That's cute.
And then the last Pokemon I caught, the third Pokemon I caught this week is Gabby.
Gabby?
The Beedrill. Level 13 Beedrill.
Gabby.
You
have a Butterfree and a Beedrill already? Wait.
And Beedrill is an account exec at a local honey farm.
It looks like a wasp, though. It doesn't look like a bee.
But its name is Beedrill.
It's a bee. You know, from nature.
What were you going to say?
That's cute. I don't remember.
Oh.
That was a good Pokemon. Good job.
How I'm going to be playing these games is every major fight that I come across, I'm going to choose a date for my Squirtle to be matched with. Or so the current Bachelor / Bachelorette to be matched with. And then, so that will be the one that it's partnered with for that battle. So if Squirtle faints, I have to switch to the partner and vice versa and all that jazz. Or if I want to switch, I have to switch to the partner. This time it was Kimberly the Butterfree because Beedrill and Pidgey wouldn't have done well against rock types. But Butterfree at least had confusion. So that is something that would have been helpful against the rock type Pokemon in this gym.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out well.
Yeah, their date went well.
Their date went well. But the next leg of the journey, I think I'm going to pick one of the ladies, because Butterfree, Beedrill, and Pidgey are all females, so I'm going to pick one of them to be the Bachelorette for the next leg.
Okay.
And then I will have to catch male Pokemon to, or I don't have to, but that's the rules of the Bachelor.
Yeah, I know, right? When do we match up and marry our Pokemon? Like, when do they partner up and stay together forever?
Like you said, I think maybe we'll just rework the rules.
Oh, so you're not having a wedlock anymore.
I don't know. It doesn't... We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out.
You don't believe
We'll mash it up and see.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess because I'm a matchmaker too. I don't really know how I'm playing it yet. I think I have an idea. I can do kind of the same thing. We're using the gyms to see how compatible two Pokemon are together. So
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
I did that with my level 15 Charmander and my level 15 Mankey, and it was just the two of them in the gym, and they took them out.
Yeah.
Good. So they're looking like I'm going to give them a compatibility score of 72%
Yeah.
right now, and we'll see how that looks in the future.
Okay. What's your Mankey's name?
Oh, right. Oh, my Pokemon. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do all your Pokemon?
I did all my
You did all
Pokemon.
of them. Okay. So I have my level 15 Charmander, my Hunka Hunka Bird in Love named Chucky. I have a level 15 Mankey named Mandy.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. I'm going to say she probably manages a zoo somewhere. I have a level 15 Pidgey named Phoebe. She's a practicing pilot following in her father's footsteps. And a level 10 Rattata named Richard.
Richard.
Yeah. Gross name, I know. It's not my fault, but yeah.
Ricky the Rat.
Yeah. That's what I have. And
Nice.
it's fun so far. This is fun because we're playing a game that we already played, and then we have all these new rules that we're kind of thinking about and following, and the fun backstories. So yeah, it's way more fun.
It's kind of evolving as we play.
Exactly.
I think that's all I wrote,
I
actually.
think that's all I wrote. That's all.
That's all.
She wrote.
Yeah. I didn't do Pokedex numbers this week because it's gonna be 4 of however many
4
I've
and
seen.
Maybe 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a big deal yet. I will maybe cover it later. Actually, it'd be kind of interesting to figure out how many Pokemon I'm able to catch and see how many of them I end up catching. I also forgot to mention that the first Pokemon I actually caught was not Pidgey. It was a Rattata. I forgot I don't have normal type, so I caught one and then realized it just before going off to fight Chris H for the first time. So I boxed Rattata and raised a Pidgey
That's
up.
going to be me for the next several weeks. I'm going to want the Pokemon I want and forget that I can't have some. And cry.
Well, we will take a quick break and then we'll be back with some Pokemon Academy. Welcome back from our break. Pokemon Master Jaylee,
Ooh.
Sylveon Trainer Jaylee,
Oh.
Tentacruel Lover Jaylee.
Hey, slow your roll.
Welcome back from our break, Poke fans and Pokemaniacs. We are going to be talking about the Pokemon Bulbasaur.
Yay, cute.
Bulbasaur's Japanese name is Fushigi Dane, and it is number 1 in the National Dex. It's the first Pokemon.
It's the first Pokemon
Yeah.
ever.
It's the seed Pokemon. It's a grass and poison type. In the original games Pokemon Red and Blue, or Pokemon Red and Green if you're in Japan, Professor Oak refers to Bulbasaur's type as plant type instead of grass. Bulbasaur, along with the other starters, Pikachu and Meowth, were all also featured on the Niue coins that we mentioned during the Pikachu trivia. To date, Bulbasaur is the only starter species line to feature poison as one of its types. Bulbasaur also could not be traded on the GTS during Pokemon Black and White due to the censor, much like we mentioned with the Pokemon Nose Pass.
Oh, really? Bulbasaur was on there too?
Yeah, apparently. Maybe
Strange.
it's the AS.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure because
That's
Nose Pass
strange.
makes sense because ass.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Bulbasaur.
why Bulbasaur. It's interesting. In Generation 2, Bulbasaur is coded with the ability to learn Charm via breeding. But no other Pokemon in Bulbasaur's egg groups can learn Charm normally, so it was unable to use this ability.
Oh gosh, really?
Yeah.
Pointless.
Bulbasaur appears to be based off of the horned frog based on its stance and its silhouette. There is an ancient lizard recently discovered and named Bulbasaurus, but it has little to no relation to the Pokemon and is more or less a coincidence.
Really? I need to look that up.
Yeah, weird, right?
Yeah, it better be cute.
Well, it's just a fossil, but they assume that it looks kind of like a Komodo dragon, sort of.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. It's cute.
Also, here's something interesting. That bill that it has is known as a razor leaf.
No, it is not.
I said it backwards. It's known as a leaf razor.
Okay,
Sorry.
but still, there has to be correlation then. That can't just be like, no. We never even thought of Pokemon when we named this thing.
The guy who named it Bulbasaurus says that it isn't just a coincidence, but it wasn't because of the Pokemon that he named it that. But he knew about it. No, anyway, it doesn't matter.
He's cute. We like him.
He is cute. Bulbasaur is a portmanteau of bulb and dinosaur, or the suffix saurus, while Fushigedane is a pun between the Japanese portmanteau of fushigi and tane, which roughly translates to weird seed.
Oh.
And a Japanese phrase, which is fushigi dane, which means weird, isn't it?
I like that.
There isn't one single Pokedex entry for Bulbasaur that stands out. Most just talk about how its seed is planted at birth, and the seed grows with the animal, and that it gets its nutrients from the seed. But one thing of note is that between the generations, they can't seem to decide if they're going to refer to it as a seed or a bulb. That's it.
That's your info on Bulbasaur?
That's it on Bulbasaur.
I love it. For my Pokemon Academy, I wanted to do something a little different, something a little fun, a little play with words, so we're gonna do a Mad Lib.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Don't look at the screen.
All right.
You can use your computer if you need to. I'm going to ask you for some words, and then we're going to tell a story.
Okay.
So what I need first is the name of your starter Pokemon.
The Pokemon name, or it's his name?
His name.
John Henry.
I need a plural noun.
Ducks.
I'm taking your first answer.
Okay.
Give me an adjective.
Swimmingly.
Going with a little bit of a
theme
here. Give me another noun.
Swan.
Okay. I need a verb.
Dove. Oh. Present tense?
Yes. Sorry.
Dives. Dive?
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Diving?
No. We're good. I need a plural noun.
Fish.
Give me a time of day.
Shoot. I was gonna say it like swim time or something.
Sure.
Okay, swim time.
Plural noun.
Frogs.
A verb.
Wait, should this be Pokemon themed?
It's whatever.
Dang.
You could start making it more Pokemon themed if you like right now.
So ducks. Can we change it to ducklets?
Yes.
Okay. And swan to swana.
Oh man. Okay.
And fish to Magikarp.
Very nice.
Okay.
I need.
So the new plural nouns. Oh, frogs. Surskit.
What?
Surskit.
You're really losing me here.
Now you need which?
A verb.
A verb. Danced.
Give me an adjective.
Fiercely.
Fearsome.
Sure.
Maybe.
Sure.
And another one?
Another adjective?
Yeah.
Gigantic.
And a verb.
Swung. Swing?
I guess verb doesn't really fit there. I'm putting swinging.
Okay.
Give me an adverb.
Fiercely.
And verb.
Another verb?
Yes.
Pull. Or pulled.
Pulled. Okay. One more verb.
Drank.
Give me an interjection.
Ahoy!
Perfect. One more noun.
Far-fetched.
And lastly, give me a feeling.
Lonely.
Perfect. That's actually so good. Okay. Here's your story.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. John Henry has a secret admirer. Their admirer leaves them letters and ducklets in the mailbox.
Enough.
The letters say, "You are my swimmingly swanna. I want to dive. Please be mine." Sometimes the admirer leaves chocolates with little Magikarp on top. John Henry decided to find out who their admirer is. Yesterday at swim time, John Henry hid in the surskip by the mailbox. He danced for hours and nobody came by. The sky turned fearsome and gigantic, but John Henry kept swinging. Finally, someone came. They fiercely pulled to the mailbox. John Henry drank out of the mailbox and shouted, "Ahoy!" But it was too late. His secret Farfetch'd ran away. John Henry was lonely.
Oh no! The Farfetch'd ran away.
I'm so lame. I'm sorry. I was so excited to do a Mad Lib.
I'm glad that we got to...
I want to do more of these for Patreon.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so funny.
I'm glad that we were able to play
I'm glad I was able to get through that.
with you.
Yay, Mad Libs. I'm 12.
Well, thank you everybody so much for listening.
Welcome back, and thank you for listening to our podcast. We're really excited to be back doing this. We missed it.
Yes, we
We'd
did.
come in like,
Well,
oh, hi dog. Days would go by and we would miss playing Pokemon and talking about Pokemon, but we're very thankful that you're back listening to us, and please tell your friends and family that they can find our podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and most other podcatchers, and please follow us on Instagram at Route to Victory Road. And welcome us back to our journeys as we take on Fire Red and Leaf Green. We also have a Patreon where we post battles, extra funny content, and some cool swag sometimes. That is patreon.com/Route to Victory Road. Thank you for all of your support.
the Poke Quote this week comes to us from Pokemon X and Y. There's a lady on Hibernal Avenue who says, "The only way to watch the world slowly changing is with a cup of coffee in one hand."
And a big old border collie in the other.
Yeah, right?
Thank you all for listening.
We'll see you next time on the Route to Victory Road. Major fight. I really hope that it's not picking that up. I can't tell. No, go away.
Shuts the door.
She was running here. She's like, look
Oh,
what
I
I
can hear her.
found.
She sounds like the fucking T-Rex from Jurassic Park when she's running. Why did we get a big dog? Oh, that's why.
You're a potato.